Everyone, it's Smitha. I am Glam Smitty on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And today I want to go ahead and go over the shadows. There's 9 new stained glass shadows that are launching from Clionadh on October 1st at 3 p.m. Eastern time. And there's actually polishes as well. I only have the shadows to show right now. These were gifted to me and I did some swatches of them that I've already posted to my Instagram, but I wanted to do a little bit of a deeper dive to do a few comparison swatches with other stained glass shadows, just as a resource for you all. And then I also wanted to show eye swatches, some sunlit swatches, and some studio light swatches, just because I think that seeing them in all these different ways can be helpful. I am gonna go over the different categories that each of these is in, and then we will talk a little bit more about each shadow as we go. So as I said, 9 shadows. There is the shade Facet, which is a Series 3 iridescent, and then next to that we have Solarium, which is an electric, Scroll, which is an electric, Entropy is a dimensional light, Baroness in the middle there is a glitter vibrant, then we have Liquidus, which is dimensional, and then in this bottom row here we have the shade Rex, which is a glitter vibrant, Synthesis, which is a dimensional light, and then Amalgam, which is a dimensional light. So as I said, these will be launching October 1st at 3 p.m. Eastern time, along with some nail polishes. I believe the nail polishes are going to be sold as bundles. I do have a discount code that's an affiliated code, which is just my username, GlamSmitty. Thank you so much if you do use it. So let's go ahead and dive into the swatches. And as I said, I'm also going to be showing the swatches in macro as well. But so we're going to go ahead and get started with the first one. This is Facet. So there is what Facet looks like. And just for the sake of comparison, I took out a few other shades from the Clionadh stained glass line because I thought it would be helpful. And I see, like, you know, a lot of pink in this, like pinky purple, as well as a little bit of a kind of yellowish shift. So I tried to take out some shades that were sort of similar to that. I have the shade Aura. So that is what Aura looks like. I think that is the most similar iridescent to this new shade. Facet, and Aura is a Series 2. In texture, I would say it is different. I did not do like side by side on the lids, but let's get a little bit closer there. I think you're seeing a little bit more like pinky purple in Facet than you are in Aura. The next comparison is Light Fast. And Light Fast is also a Series 3, so it's one of the newer series. So that is what Facet is looking like. And then the next comparison I have is Incandescence, which is also a Series 3 iridescent. And this one I'd say is the most different from the other ones. Has a lot more like orange and green in it. So hopefully seeing those all together is helpful. The next shade that I'm gonna swatch is Solarium, and I have a couple of shades that I'm gonna compare Solarium to. So this is one of my favorites in this new kind of group of shadows that's launching. It's a yellow base, but it has a really strong green shift. And then the shadows that I have to compare it to first are Embellishment. So here is what Embellishment looks like. So Embellishment is quite different, but it's got like a little bit more of like a gold base, more prominent gold base. And embellishment is a glitter multichrome. And then the next one that I have is an older shade, and this is Chandelier. And that is what Chandelier looks like. Just like in terms of its tone, I'd say Chandelier is a bit more similar to Solarium than is Embellishment, but its texture is totally different. It's a lot more powdery. Yeah, I'm trying to look at what the type of shadow Chandelier is. I'm not sure. It's not on the back of my shade here, but anyway, so those are the two that I have to compare to Solarium. The next is Scroll, which is kind of like a peachy orange shade. So this is Scroll. And then I have a couple of shades that I'm gonna compare that one to. We have Court Jester. And right off the bat, I think Court Jester is quite a bit more orange. Yeah. So that is Court Jester. And then Scepter. And Scepter is like one of the stained glass extension from, I want to say it's about 2 years ago now. So that is Scepter. I'd say all of these are pretty different, but you know, just to give you a little bit of a reference point, yeah, so that is Court Jester and what did I say? Scepter. And sorry if I'm mispronouncing. So that's the first row of shades. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and wash off my arm and come back with the next set of comparisons. All right, on to the next row. We're gonna start off with the shade Entropy. So there is Entropy, and Entropy is a dimensional light. And that's what we're looking like. I think this is a very unique dimensional light shade. I don't think they have any kind of like pinky ones like that. And then I wanted to compare it to 2 other shades. So first is Baroque, and the textures of these two are like quite different. What are these? Pearlescence? Yeah. So like I think the tone is similar, but the texture is totally different. Dimensional light have quite a like more texture for sure, but I would say like the sparkle, because of that, like the particle size is larger, the sparkle effect is greater than the pearlescence. Not that the pearlescence are very, very beautiful, but there is a definite difference in the texture. The next one is Palace, also a pearlescent. So that is Palace. I'd say it has a more like prominent yellow-green shift than the other two. Next one is Baroness, and Baroness is a glitter vibrant. So that is what Baroness looks like. And then I have 2 shades to compare it to. I have Signet and Coronation. So this is Signet, which is an electric, a lot smoother, and its shift is different, but kind of like similar pinky base to it, but definitely shiftier Signet is because it's an electric multichrome. And the next one is Coronation, and I believe Coronation is, okay, it's a vibrant multichrome. So that is Coronation. Actually, that one's quite a bit different. But anyway, there's a couple of shades for a reference point. And then the third in the row is, this is one of my favorites. Also, I said Solarium was one as well. This is the shade Liquidus. And Liquidus, I just want to make sure I say it right, is a dimensional. So yeah, that is Liquidus. It's like a blurple kind of a shade, super beautiful. I love the way it looks on my skin tone too. And then I'm gonna compare it to Ion, which is a dimensional light. So that is Ion. Ion's quite a bit more blue. I didn't pull out Tiara. I feel like Tiara would have been a good comparison too. But there's what it looks like next to Ion. And then, okay, I don't think that Smolder is similar to this, but I did pull it out as a reference point. Smolder has a lot more purple in it and has a more prominent green shift. So that is Smolder. Okay. And then on to the last row. Okay, next we have Rex. And Rex is a glitter vibrant. This shade reminds me of that whole kind of family of shades, the Cosmos from Terra Moons. So that is Rex. Super beautiful. Like I said, glitter vibrant. You can kind of tell that the texture, like you have like that kind of more texture than some of the other shades. And then I pulled out, for comparison, I pulled out Hilt. And Hilt is an electric. I feel like on the whole, the electric multichromes are overall fairly smooth. So that is Hilt. Hilt, I think, has a little bit less of that like pinky shift in it and has a more prominent like yellow-green shift. And then Diadem. And Diadem is a glitter vibrant. So Diadem, I think, is a little bit like more true blue than the other two. So that is Diadem. Next shade is Synthesis. And Synthesis is a dimensional light. So that is Synthesis. And I really, in general, enjoy the dimensional lights. I feel like they are sort of like that perfect neutrals with a twist. They do have a little bit more texture, so keep that in mind. But I do like the effect on the lids that extra texture gives. And I would just use a tacky base with them. So I pulled out to compare it to Ascension, which is a glitter vibrant. So here is what Ascension looks like. Has less green, I think, in comparison. Okay, so that is Ascension, and then I also pulled out Masonry, and Masonry is in Earth Vibrant. And then lastly, we have Amalgam. And Amalgam is actually what I have on my lids right now. Like I said, I did eye swatches, so I'm going to be showing that later. My lids are feeling a little bit raw right now. So Amalgam is another dimensional light. And I would say also like probably like my third or fourth favorite. I really like this shade. Okay, and then I pulled out Grisaille. So Grisaille is, I believe Grisaille is a glitter type. Next is Vault. And Vault is also a glitter multichrome. So that is what Vault looks like. And then Lastly, I pulled out Alloy, and Alloy, I believe, okay, Alloy is also a dimensional light. Okay, all right, now I'm gonna go ahead and get into a little bit of my macro footage and eye swatches, and then I'll come back at the end with some wrap-up thoughts. First, we have Facet, Solarium, Scroll, Entropy, Baroness, Liquidus, Rex, Synthesis, and Amalgam. Let's dive into eye swatches. Facet, Solarium, Scroll, Entropy, Baroness, Liquidus, Rex, Synthesis, and Amalgam. Let's do some sunlit swatches. Facet, Solarium, Scroll, Entropy, Baroness, Liquidus, Rex, Synthesis, Amalgam. Okay, now that we've done some comparisons, some macro swatches and eye swatches, I hope that you found this video helpful. These are the 9 new stained glass shadows that are launching from Clionadh. This is a part of their like Halloween release. I really enjoy their Halloween capsule collections. So I hope that you found this video helpful, and let me know what you have on your wish list or what you plan to be picking up, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.